All right, so how many people in here listen to music? I would say at least an hour a day. Awesome, so that's the majority of us. I'd like to ask some of you, please share like what type of music you guys enjoy.
Metal.
Metal? Why do you enjoy metal? There's just one aspect of that.
Musical appreciation in terms of instrumentality.
Awesome.
Instrumental.
Instrumental? What about instrumentals do you enjoy?
I am an instrumentalist, so I just enjoy hearing all the different sounds.
So you just appreciate how hard it is. That's awesome. Would anyone else like to share? No?
EDM.
EDM? What about EDM do you enjoy?
It's just so crazy.
So crazy, so just very expressive. You can just go in any direction.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Would you like to share?
Japanese hip-hop.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What interests you about Japanese pop?
Because of the different language and how if you look at the Romaji versions or the English translation of the songs, it has really different story behind the concept of the actual story, whether it's happy, sorrow, etc., etc.
I like that. So you like it for the deeper meaning.
Oh, yes!
Awesome. Well, I have that same excitement about hip-hop. Literally since I've been in a car seat in the back of my mom's car, I've been listening to it. It's just something I've always been exposed to, something I've always been around. It's just something that I've personally fell in love and spent a lot of time listening to. So one specific reason why I love hip-hop so much is because hip-hop as an entity, it just enables the artist to say whatever they would like, however they would like. It's such a loose structure that you can really make it your own and express what you have to say. And you have to realize that these artists make this their life's craft. They choose every specific word to have a specific meaning or a certain impact on the person or the listener. So personally, how this has benefited me, I feel like I've had a very strong mental outlook and a good view of myself through listening to this hip-hop music. Personally, one track that stood out to me that has come out in sort of recent times and also pertains to the paper I wrote before this class is a track from the Untitled Unmastered project by Kendrick Lamar. And this is actually the fifth track, and the verse that is most interesting to me is not actually a verse by Kendrick himself or J-Rock who's on the song. It's actually a verse from Terrence Henderson, also known as Punch. He is the co-president of Top Dog Entertainment, which is the record label that Kendrick Lamar and 6 other artists are signed to. If you guys aren't familiar with hip-hop or don't know where to start, that's actually a very good starting point, and I would work backwards from there. You'll be able to learn a lot that way. So I'd like to play the chorus and then actually the second verse. So if you just want to listen in. Perfect. So from that, he expressed so much just within a minute and 40-second long section of this song. So it starts off with the chorus, and this, I wasn't going to add this in, but then I heard your guys' presentations, and some of them were about the topic of depression and dealing with friends who have dealt with suicide. And that first, the hook right there is actually by Anna Wise. She says, somebody said you bumped your head and bled the floor, jumped into the pit of flames, and drowned outside. So those are 3, in my opinion, 3 cases of suicidal actions. And then she said, and that means the world to me. So basically, that's letting you know that someone cares. So that precedent of caring is already set. And then you see Kendrick Lamar come in with kind of describing the setting. He said, drove alone with a bottle of his own, gripping the handle. And then that's when Punch starts after that. And he goes through his verse, and just for time reasons, I'm just going to focus on the second half of that. And he starts off by saying, I watch the sun rise, then I watch the sun fall. Study the Son of God, but still don't recognize my flaws. So for me, I'd like to first start off by saying, but you don't know what the artist's intentions were or their thoughts when they're making it. So I can only know what I interpret and what I can apply to my life. And that's why the second section pertains to me. So that right there, it just shows that he observes everything, like you see everything. And then he said, study the Son of God. So he's searching to the biblical for answers when I feel like if you still don't recognize your flaws outward, you need to look inward. So that was something that I took into consideration. And then I guess I'm lost. The cost of being successful is equal to being neglectful. I pray my experience helps you. So the cost of being successful is the same as being neglectful. I'm not at the same success level as Mr. Henderson. He's co-president of arguably one of the best modern labels in history. But I could say even for my own personal success and how this leads into my story is my father was dealing with problems of being laid off, alcoholism, and then also all the stress that comes with the family aspect side of that. And then he says, as for me, I'm trying to sort it out, searching for loopholes in my bruised soul, but who knows? So he's saying this is what I do, or in my opinion, he's saying this is what he does to cope with these things, and this is what he's experiencing. And then the part that stuck with me the most, that I will keep with me until my grave, I just need a little space to breathe. I know perception is key, so I am king. Say that again. I know perception is key, so I am king. If you have this strong mental outlook and you take a step back and realize that this is not meant in an arrogant way, I'm not the king over anyone else. I'm just simply the king of myself. I can control my actions and my emotions. So, how this kind of explains or connects directly, like I explained earlier, my father was dealing with these issues, and I feel like I could have very easily played the victim. I could have gone so many different ways, but this song came out on March 4th, I believe, and this was like 2 or 3 months after when all these issues came to my attention. So I had just kept this in my mind. Perception is key, so I'm king, and I was the king of myself, and I could only control my own actions. So by me being responsible for myself and realizing that I'm the only one that I can take care of, while I can support others, I need to focus on myself. That was able to put me in a position to succeed in the coming years that I didn't even realize at the time. So what I'd like to leave you guys with is, one, dive deeper in your music. Like you mentioned, there's a lot more beneath the surface, a lot more that you can interpret and experience. And also, we've all overcome adversities to get to here. How we've dealt with those made us who we are. Music helps you deal with these problems, and therefore helps you become the person that you are. So just please remember in living situations that you are the king of yourself and perception.